Hi everybody, Laura here. So glad you're joining me today. I've got a very Eastery, springy themed project to share with you. I'm going to emboss this big, beautiful doodle egg background cling stamp on a panel in Unisolar white. So I'm rubbing my panel down with magic powder bag, and I'm mounting this big cling onto my full-size Misty. As you can see, I removed that foam black pad in the Misty, so it works perfectly with these thicker background cling stamps. Inking up my stamp with Versamark ink, and then what I like to do, here's a little secret trick of the trade. I pull my sleeve up and rub it down. I don't know why, but it helps me, and I do it all the time now. Seems to be working. Anyway, so I'm pouring on some clear embossing powder, and I'm going to heat this with a heat gun and emboss the entire panel. You can barely see there the pattern, but I'm going to do some ink blending over these Easter eggs. So my first thought was, yeah, I'm going to do a little blending and give each egg its own color. Well, I quickly learned that that was going to be way too much effort unless I did some very intricate masking to give each egg its own individual color. So I decided to go for a more loosey-goosey approach and just give it a dreamy, springy color themed Easter egg background. That's what I'm going for. And I'm using my little Distress mini cubes here. Now, one thing I want to say is my first color that I used, that pink egg, that was spun sugar. But as you can see, that is not a very spun sugar color. It's actually a lot darker than spun sugars should be. And the problem is, it's not really a problem though. I don't view it as a problem. But the issue is, my ink blender tools, I use them on so many different colors of ink. And I don't clean them. I just go with it. Now you can see here I'm starting to get a lighter pink result because I'm cleaning off my sponge. And but you know, that's just how it goes for me. I'm one of those type of gals. I don't use a sponge for each ink. I just grab one that looks kind of like a pink color and I go to town. Most of the time it works. Here was a little darker, but I think in the end it just turned out just dandy, just fine and dandy, and I'm loving this dreamy background. Okay, so moving on. I'm going to take one of the nested circle dies and die cut a little window down in the bottom left corner, pulling out the old Gemini Jr. I just love to say that. And this is going to be a window for my cutie patootie picture book bunny. I'm going to call him Peter Cottontail, and he's going to pop out of that circular window. So the thing about the picture book dies is you got to die cut several of them if you're going to use solid color cardstock. So Peter Cottontail is going to be cream, but his belly and his nose are going to be white. And then his inner ears are going to be pink. And just for the fun of it, because hey, why not? I'm giving him blue eyes. So here is how I adhere all my picture book dies together. I wish that each picture book die came with its own like solid, just a solid die that you could adhere all the pieces to. Because I always like to pop up my picture book animals. I like dimension and I like them popping. So unless you're adhering the pieces flat on a card base, you have to adhere all your pieces onto something so that it all sticks together. Am I making sense? So I'm going to adhere all the bunny parts onto this little backing piece. I'm using that Simon Says Stamp tacky glue and my little quick pick here to pop all the pieces in. And that way, when I'm all done, I can put some foam tape on the back of Mr. Peter Cottontail, and he can look like he's popping out of my little window die cut that I made on the panel, the ink blended panel. Okay, so now I'm just adhering these cute little blue eyes. I debated on doing blue eyes or googly eyes, but I just can't resist a blue-eyed bunny. Look at him. Would you look at him? So now I am putting a little foam tape on my ink blended panel, popping that up on a white card base. Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Now for a sentiment. This is another fun new stamp set called Oh Bunny. And I love this Somebunny Loves You. So here's what I think. I think that I need to make a stamp set that has punny sentiments for all of the picture book animals. Because every time I want to use a picture book animal, I just want a funny, quirky sentiment that kind of goes with the animal. What do you think? Do you like that idea? I don't know. Like it, love it. So I embossed the sentiment in clear on a strip of white cardstock. I'm going to go over it, emboss resist with the spun sugar, which is not really spun sugar because my ink blender has darker pink on it, but that's okay. It's all going to tie into the background, and then I'll trim this little sentiment strip off on an angle just because I like to live on the edge. I'm going to pop it up, and then it all ties together. It's got the same colors as the background. It's not too distracting. Just looks like it was meant to be. And then to finish it off, you know it, a few sparkling clear sequins. This card is finished. I mean, you can't get any springier, happier, Easter Bunny, Peter Cottontailier than that. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.